well, kind of egg on our face, lads, to be honest with you. We spoke about the developer direct coming. We said it was going to be on the 14th or the 16th, I think we said.
I said 14th, 16th, 21st.
Well, the week of the
23rd.
So this is correct. Because we said week of the 14th.
We were right. Yeah, we were right.
Sure. Developer Direct is coming. It was announced today. It is coming on the 18th of January. Microsoft is holding another Xbox Developer Direct later this month. We are going to be getting games such as, and I'll run through them really quickly so we can talk about each in depth. We are going to be getting Avowed. We are going to be getting Hellblade 2. We are going to be getting God, I'm forgetting where it was. What is it called? Oh my God.
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones, thank you. Indiana Jones is exactly what I was thinking.
There was another
and then
one.
There's
Aura or something.
It's Oxide Games' his new game. I think it's called Aura. Is that right? Aura?
Yeah.
So Microsoft obviously announced this over on the Xbox Wire. I don't know how I feel about them telling us what we're getting. Kind of like it, but it also means I have to temper my expectations, which is a good thing overall. But it also means I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, are they gonna do a little sneaky like they did with Hi-Fi Rush, please? Like, no, I'm not saying release date. I'm not saying. Sorry, let me reword that. I'm not saying the release.
Yeah.
But just some sneaky announcements, like just something extra.
I have to imagine they have something that isn't on paper here, and part of me is like, maybe that was supposed to be Power World, right?
But that was the official Twitter account that announced that.
The official Power World Twitter account, not Xbox. So I'm wondering if there was like maybe mixed messaging there. Xbox, none of Xbox's stuff talks about Power World whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I don't know
That's
whether
not big enough though. As much as I'm looking forward to
it, absolutely not.
Well,
I mean,
I'm sorry.
Comparative for like for something like this, if you look at Hi-Fi Rush, Power World's not big enough. I mean,
I don't think so.
I'm gonna disagree.
We're talking Pokemon with assault rifles here.
We're not even talking about Power. Let's stick to what's at the direct. We'll get to Power World after, shall we? All right. Let me ask you this: what are you most excited to see more of out of these games that have been announced?
Power World's definitely up there, to be honest. I'm just gonna put it up.
No, in all seriousness, Indiana Jones.
Avowed.
Honestly, both. Yeah. Now I was thinking about
interest.
Flip-flop. Don't flip-flop. You said what you said.
No,
I did.
No interest.
No, all right. Yeah. No, you got no interest
in Indiana Jones for me. No.
Wow.
I don't really care for Indiana Jones, to be honest.
Fair.
Like
we've had this conversation, right?
Yeah.
Indiana Jones speaks to
old people.
Like even older than me, like old people. I was never ever an indie guy. Ever.
Yeah.
And I think it's an interesting choice for a game. Machine Games, I think it's confirmed that it's third person, if I'm not mistaken.
Have they confirmed that?
Okay, I am mistaken then. I am mistaken. Trust me, I have no insider knowledge, I promise you. It would be weird. I mean, I would assume it was first person because that's a machine game. Most of the machine games are first person, but I just don't know. Like an Indiana Jones first person. I don't know if that's what I want.
I would love to see Machine Games do something other than a first person game, similar to how we saw on Sony's side Guerrilla Games move away from the Killzone first person and to give us Horizon. Because Machine Games very obviously an incredibly talented studio. So to see them sort of spread their wings a little bit and go a little bit, I don't want to say outside of their comfort zone, but what we know them for would be very, very cool to see from them.
Another great example, CD Projekt Red went from third person for Witcher into a first person RPG.
Yeah,
that's the opposite way. I mean, indie. I think indie's gonna. I feel like we're gonna get behind it. The Xbox audience is gonna get behind it because we ain't got much else.
I was gonna say, here's a licensed IP. Have fun. It's like, yes, please, gimme. It's not Spider-Man, but it'll do.
I was gonna say you're comparing it to Spider-Man and Wolverine, and we got Blade and not that I'm not excited for Blade, but we got Blade and bloody Indiana Jones. Like,
who 3 out of the 5 films are okay.
Wait, I just had a thought.
Uh-oh.
I tell you what, I'll save it for when we get down there. Well, I'll save it. I've had a thought.
Oh,
I've had
you're
a thought.
saving it. You're saving it.
Yeah, I'll save it. I'll save it. I'll
Down
save it.
where?
Don't worry, we'll talk about it. I'll bring it up then. You'll know. You'll know when.
You'll
know
remember
when.
to bring it up?
You'll know. I promise. I'm not you.
Okay.
Oh,
That's accurate. It's
that is
accurate.
accurate. You are not Crash.
I'm insulted. I'm like, let me tell you, I'm very insulted right now, but it's accurate.
Avowed. Avowed,
Yeah.
obviously a game we've been waiting for. Obsidian's newest title. We've seen gameplay for it now. Release date this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've confirmed it's 2024.
Release date this year. That's we're gonna
Yeah.
get the release date
I
at this
think we
show.
get like
There's no
yeah.
way we don't get the release date at this show. Do we get the to go back a little bit real quick? Do we get a release date for Indiana Jones, or we get a window?
Window.
I think Indiana
Win-
Jones release window, everything else is release date. I think
Okay.
Hellblade's release date. I think the Avowed's release date. I think anything else they show for the most part, unless it's some sort of surprise that a Gears of War or Contraband that might not perfectly be ready, but they have more to show. No release date for that. But for the most part, everything they've announced so far, I think we will see a release date for those.
Yeah, you got to remember,
So,
like, of all the games that they've announced here, we've seen gameplay, kind of gameplay for pretty much everything except Indiana Jones.
yes.
So, like, if you go by the standards, it's teaser trailer, gameplay trailer, release window, more
Release
gameplay,
date.
and then release date. So we're kind of at like step 2 and step 3 for most of these games already now. So yeah, I can see release window for most with a couple of dates. And then, yeah, Indiana Jones will get, that a year at best.
Okay.
You don't
Alright.
think there's a possibility Indiana Jones drops this year?
I mean, it
Yes.
could.
Because it was originally supposed to drop 2022 based off the leaks, no?
Oh yeah, off the leaks it was. Yes.
Yeah. And so COVID obviously delayed that. I think like it would be ballpark around now. Not to say that it's necessarily this year. It could always be.
I mean, what
2025
was
for sure.
Machine Games' last game? Wolfenstein 3?
Yeah, the New Blood, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the co-op one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
it's
I wasn't
been-
even
it's
thinking
been a
that one.
while.
You're right. I forgot
Yeah.
about the co-op one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
It
Yeah.
has been a while from them.
Yeah, but
so.
Avowed is something that I'm excited for. I feel
Yeah.
like we're finally gonna see the nitty gritty of that game, and that's a game that, again, in a world where Bethesda games have come out and I have not enjoyed them, I am very interested to see a game like, a studio like Obsidian
Mm-hmm.
come out and Crash not be muted. Obsidian come out
I'm
and
not muted.
oh, you said something and it didn't come through. You're
No,
right.
I didn't say anything.
It just kind of went,
Yeah.
Did you saw it this one, right?
nope.
No,
I
it
was doing admin over here. Sorry.
Absolute
I
liar.
did not
Absolute
say
liar.
anything.
Anyway, yeah. I don't know. I'm excited for Avowed.
So
What are you
I'm
thinking, Fred? Yeah, go on.
go on.
I was gonna say. I was gonna say. I'm very excited because I wasn't the biggest fan of Outer Worlds just because sci-fi is not really my thing. Just to see them do something in fantasy and see what they come out with it, because they do make these, at least from Outer Worlds, they make a smaller, more compact, larger like sort of game that we've known Bethesda to make, right? Just to see what they come out with Avowed and the direction change they went and like exactly what that means for the game. I'm very, very interested to see, and I do think probably won't be a miss. I'd be surprised if Avowed is a miss, right?
Mhm. Yeah, we're talking
Yeah.
about a studio that arguably makes better Bethesda games than Bethesda with Fallout New Vegas and Outer Worlds. Like, you put them with a fantasy setting, which for everything we've seen of the trailer, looks like it's focusing on having just fun combat.
Yeah.
And like there's a sense of humor in there with some of the way that the NPCs seem to be talking to you and things like that. Like, if they capture that, this game is going to be a hit. Like, Obsidian are masters of their craft, so if they manage to pull it off, then yeah, this is going to be a good one for Xbox owners.
What's a hit in Xbox's eyes? Are we?
Nines.
What are we? What are we?
Are we talking?
I'm
Are we talking critical or sales or?
Let's
how
start
many
with
people buy Game
critical.
Pass
Like,
because
what
of
do
it?
we? Yeah, critical is the what I want to go off of. So what are we considering a critical hit for Avowed?
I mean, For Xbox or the larger community discussion, I think 9s are the general consensus.
And almost across the board, it's general enjoyment. So not Starfield, where there are like these pockets of people who have gripes with the game, but where it's you look across the board, it'll go 9, high 8. I think even high 80s is fine. But no matter where you're looking, it's people enjoying the game. I think that's really what Xbox will need from it.
Yeah, they don't want a divisive release like Starfield was. They don't want that kind of like people love it or people hate it. It's either people like it or love it and above, and that's it. So I think that's the kind of reaction they want from people. Again, critically, I think they want to be, like you say, high 8s, 9s, that kind of ballpark. If we're talking like, I know like it's putting a figure on these things isn't right. Like as long as you enjoy it. But I think at the end of the day, people weaponize these numbers, and it's like that's what they need and want for like the next game that comes out of these studios.
Well, Outer Worlds, I was just looking up the Metacritic for that. It got an 85 overall. Is that good enough for Avowed?
For the game itself, yes. For Xbox, maybe no.
We need you need more than that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, personally,
kind of.
no.
What was like Xbox's last hit?
That is a good question. I mean,
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you had Hi-Fi Rush, you had Pentiment, you had
Pentiment was like universally loved.
Psychonauts 2, which came multi-platform. So
great. Yep. Hi-Fi Rush 87 on Metacritic.
If it's another Hi-Fi Rush, I think it's great because it's also a bigger game than Hi-Fi Rush. People really like Obsidian, so I do think it makes more of a wave outside of like the stealth launch that gave Hi-Fi Rush its boost, right? So I do think there'll be more conversations around it. I think it's easier for that game to slip into Game of the Year categories than it is for Hi-Fi Rush necessarily, and Hi-Fi Rush made it into Game of the Year categories, right?
Yeah,
true.
So I do think getting the same thing as Hi-Fi Rush does more for that game just because people will be more open to accepting the game, right?
Yeah, I do agree.
It's probably easier to sell the love for a game for something like Avowed, where it's like it's an open world RPG with a bit of humor, lots of bright colors. It's great. Then try and sell like Hi-Fi Rush. It's a rhythm-based combat game that looks
great
like
colors, great art style.
Yeah, but no, it's like it's
great combat. Maybe one of the best games of 2023. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
No, all they have to do is put out a trailer and say from the creators of Fallout New Vegas.
That's it. That's literally,
and you have more pull than you do with Hi-Fi Rush.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, this is again, as I said earlier,
from the creators of The Evil Within 1 and 2
comes a game that's gonna get so much like The Evil Within.
How dare you? How dare you?
I apologize.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
From the creator of Resident Evil 4, Shinji Mikami.
I mean, that's nothing.
That's actually like pulls people, but
for the wrong style of game. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know. It's like not the good.
Unfortunately,
that's definitely what Hi-Fi Rush is like. Yeah.
And then last but not least, boys, moving on. You have Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Probably the game we've seen most out of all these titles that we're excited for. Still excited. I am waiting for a release date so I can finally play through Hellblade 1. I'll probably do that on the My Xbox and Me Twitch channel. We'll probably just do a one-day sit-in for that one because I hear it's not that long a game. Yeah, man, I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited. I think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be as good as what people are expecting. I'm scared for that.
Yeah. So I think I'm with you. Like I am worried because the marketing that they've been showing for this, like everything that they've shown of the game looks gorgeous, but as somebody who's played the original, the weakest part of that is the gameplay. So I'm hoping that they step up the gameplay aspect. So like the combat specifically anyway. The combat wasn't great in Hellblade 1. It was very like it was fine. It was serviceable, yeah. But like the improvements that they made graphically for this game is like leaps and bounds. Like this has got to be one of the best looking things we've ever seen on Xbox so far. Like some of these trailers are phenomenal. But
I mean,
yeah,
there's a reason they sold the Series X on this thing, right? This was what they were.
this is what gameplay
selling
is
it
going to
on.
be. Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
standard.
Exactly.
So, like, yeah, if they nail the gameplay aspects as well, oh, man, this could be the 10 out of 10. But I'm worried that it's going to be more of the same with the combat wise.
I will say some people need to kind of temper expectations because I do think they can for sure improve gameplay. But they also can't turn the franchise into something it's not, right?
No,
Because I've seen, we've talked about it before. Every time we talk about it, the comparisons to God of War the game gets, right? You have that similar like Norse style world. People are like, it's going to be God of War, even more so when it became an Xbox exclusive for some reason. I don't know if people didn't play the first game or whatever the case is. Do not go into it with the expectations that it'll be another God of War. I think that's probably the biggest thing that's holding the game back. Because I think I would doubt that the game's not going to come with improved combat. I just don't know if it'll hit the level that people might necessarily be expecting from the game at this point.
Yeah, it to me felt like it was a PlayStation exclusive, PS4 exclusive when it first released. It had a cult following of people that were just like, this game is a wacky but fantastic, and you have to play it, right? So, boom, it comes out, does really well. It's sitting at 81 on Metacritic on PS4, which is one of the base of because it has the most reviews.
Mhm.
You know, it's a great game. But there's no bits from a studio that I don't think anyone was expecting it from and things like that. Nah. And then you come around and Xbox have now bought the studio, and we are getting a sequel to that game that a load of people love, but it's in a interesting genre. And yeah, I do agree with you both, where it's a case of like, especially you, Chris, where I'm like, temper expectations in terms of its gameplay, not its visuals and not the story and not the audio and not all of that. That is going to be out of this world, amazing, fantastic. But I'm interested to see what the game is. So we'll have to wait and see, really, because that's all we can do. But yeah, release date at this developer direct on the 18th of January will be very, very important. Of course, we will be doing a watch along right here on the My Xbox and Me YouTube channel and also on the Twitch channel. Come join us. We'll be watching it live and direct from my new house. I'll be in the new house by then. I'm very excited. Expect a pre-show, post-show of us breaking down everything. And yeah, man, that is this week's developer direct talk.